This is Donald Trump in the Oval Office last Friday, so a week ago. Take a listen.
I'll see whose fault it is. If there are reasons why, I'll understand that. I know exactly what I'm doing. We're going to see whether or not they have a meeting. That'll be interesting to see. And if they don't, why didn't they have a meeting? Because I told them to have a meeting. But I'll know in 2 weeks what I'm going to do.
Okay, so that was now a week ago. Dmitri, is there financial pressure that Trump can bring on Putin that would change his calculus to offer a third path to how this war ends from what you described?
I don't think there are any easy answers. The reality is that sanctions do work, but they work very slowly. They're like gravity. They take down your economy. And we're starting to see the Russian economy get under more and more pressure. Inflation is at 9%, interest rates at 21%, gas prices, in part because of these strikes in the refineries, are up almost by half in the last month. So things are definitely getting worse in Russia, but not worse enough for Putin to concede.
Okay, Melinda, this is Sergei Lavrov on NBC's Meet the Press over the weekend.
Close to 50,000 civilians have either been killed or injured in this war. Russia has hit maternity wards, churches, schools, hospitals, a kindergarten just this past week. So either the Russian military has terrible aim or you are targeting civilians. Which is it?
I asked you to send us or to publicize the information to which you just referred, because we never targeted the civilian targets of the kind you cited.
Okay. Admit nothing, deny everything, make counter accusations. But I think, Melinda, this brings up a different point, which is there a way to arm Ukraine to the point that makes this, I don't want to say a fair fight, because you can't have a fair fight against the Russian army. You'd have to give them nukes, and that would end poorly for the world. Could you give them weapons that would give them a chance to kick Russia out of Ukraine, a la, in a sense, win this war?
Absolutely. We should have done that much sooner. We are where we are. But at this point, Leland, we need to make sure that Ukraine has enough air defense to get through the coming winter. It doesn't have enough Patriots. It doesn't have enough air defense to protect its cities and civilians in hospitals. So that would be the first place to start. But Leland, there's another problem. We saw in the last week that Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon has issued a directive earlier this year that prevents Ukraine from using U.S. weapons to strike into Russia. That's a huge prohibition, and it's like tying Ukraine's hands behind its back. So
right.
That would be the
well,
first
Putin
place
knows
I would
that.
start. Well, sorry?
Yeah, Putin knows that.
Absolutely.
He can watch it. Dmitri, I love having you on at moments like this, because I remember you and I talking months before the war in Ukraine started. It was December, the war started in February, and you kept saying, Putin's going to do it, Putin's going to do it. Is Putin's mentality still, I can outlast because I can just keep throwing more and more men into the meat grinder? I don't care how many Russian soldiers die, I don't care how many Ukrainian civilians die, I can outlast the world?
Yeah. He thinks that, and he might be right. He's still gaining ground. In the last month, he gained 200 square miles of territory. It's not a huge amount by Ukrainian standards, because Ukraine is, of course, a huge country, but it's still substantial. They're making progress at enormous cost in lives and equipment, but they keep on going, and he thinks that the Ukrainians will collapse. The Ukrainian army is severely undermanned. They've not done the right things to mobilize the forces. As you know, Leland, 18 to 25-year-olds are not being mobilized, are not fighting in this conflict. Huge mistake on the part of the Ukrainian government, on the part of Zelensky. So he thinks he can outlast them. He's got his own issues. I don't think he can continue this war for more than 2 years. I think if the Ukrainians can last 2 years, can stabilize the front line, I think they can get into the negotiating table and make real concessions.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.